4. Well, hey, folks, we're all here, I guess. I don't know if it's or not. But welcome to the Off Night. Your host, Mark Sweetman.
Oh, hi.
All 4 of us are out there, man.
All right. Somehow we're missing Jason. Oh, he said he was going to leave and come back. I sent him a new link. Although he was on with this link, I didn't see what the problem was. He was having technical difficulties viewing us. So, well, here we are. I'm Mark Sweetman. This is the Off Night. This is our night where, it started out with comics getting together on their off night, which is Monday night. We started it during the pandemic. This is show 279. That tells you how long we've been doing it. We do it every Monday night at 8 o'clock. Andy is my sidekick. In between the two of us, well, on my screen, in between the two of us is my bride, Susan. She is she kicks off every show with a poem. Are you ready to do that, or we want to wait for Jason?
Sure, I can do the poem.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna put you on here.
Up. You don't have to take everybody down.
Really? All right, fine.
Really? All right, here's your poem. Ripped from the headlines. Today is September 15th, 2025. Epstein's birthday book still in the news. Trump claims it's fake, but don't you snooze. The signature he claims not his because it is not true. Well, gosh, it matches, Mr. Trump, and I think you knew. New York railroad workers may strike because they want more pay. If negotiations fail to resolve, the walkout starts Thursday. Wow. Let all speak and say their thoughts. Free speech we must permit. I might not agree with your words, but I defend your right to say it. Charlie Kirk assassinated, suspect under arrest. Making martyrs of folks like him is really not the best. In America, all should be heard, no matter what you say. Constitution Amendment 1 should not become cliche.
Ooh, nice.
That's your poem.
That's cool.
Thank you, Susan.
You're welcome.
Very nice. Good, Susan. That's a good one.
There were Emmys last night, but I wrote the poem before the Emmys. So if you want to talk about Emmys, go ahead. Uh-oh, you lost Jason again. And did I scare him away with Emmys?
I think the word Emmy kind of got it to him, you know.
I didn't win. I wasn't even nominated.
Well, our show wasn't even nominated either. So, you know, we've been at this for 2 years now. Not a mention by the Emmys, you know. Oh, hello. So, did you guys hear that the Tonight Show is over at on Sunday night over at the Detroit Opera House?
I did not hear that.
It's going to show tonight, so go ahead and watch it. But it's all about Detroit and the area. And I
when
knew
was it
a week ago because I picked up one of the people who works for the Tonight Show behind the scenes. She's been working for like 15 years. And she said they were looking for ideas and stuff. So very fascinating, interesting discussion. But if you see a Batmobile from 1966 on the show, that was my idea, okay?
Okay.
Some guy up in West Bloomfield has an exact copy of the 1966 Batmobile. And it's a Ford product. And the Tonight Show is getting sponsored that for that evening by the Ford company. So,
does he also have a bat cave? I don't know. There's some money up there.
I mean, if you're a full-grown man and you suggest you want to come over and play in the bat cave, at that point, my best advice, because I might actually have something I would call the bat cave. I would say run as fast as you can. Don't spare anything. And if I start following you and I say it's the Batmobile, then yes, it's again, you know, yes.
How can something as innocent as a 1966 Batmobile suddenly become a sexual operation for you? You know?
Have you seen the tights they wore? That's all I'm asking, Andy.
Hey, my favorite line was one of my favorite line from Big Bang Theory was delivered by the original Batman,
Adam West.
Adam
Adam
West.
West.
Yeah.
It said so. You know, he kind of looked at, yeah, you got those other Batmans, but hey, I don't have any puffed up shirt, man. That was all me underneath there.
Well,
I'd
actually,
like to see a mashup with Batman and Mr. Mom.
well, if you look into it, you'll find that way back at the very beginning of the whole affair, when they had the first publicity shots, there were several Southern Christian organizations that objected to Burt Ward's costume because he was, shall we say, rather amply represented, and they had to go and reshoot several of the photos in order to make them appropriate. Now, before you start thinking that I'm making that up, I'm not. That happened.
Sure it's true.
Just as
and like most gifted superheroes, the actor ended up being a real estate agent out in the valley. So
well, you know,
There you go.
he was also a superstar skater at like 5 years old, and Burt Ward's an interesting character. He was also one of the world's fastest readers. Who knew?
wow,
super intelligent.
He's gone now, right?
No, sadly he's still alive, and he still has the same haircut. Well, when you're wearing the same sort of plastic haircut, you know, permanently affixed to the top of your head, and the rest of you looks like the bad guy from Dune, from the David Lynch version. It's bad. It's not a look. Butch Patrick
He probably has a toupee on now, right?
Well, I mean, but you know, Butch Patrick still appears as Eddie Munster. I mean,
does he keep the widow? Does he keep the widow's peak?
He still keeps the widow's peak. Clearly, the whole idea of the non-aging Wolfman is definitely not in his particular oeuvre. You know, the Wolfman certainly does age.
He's
did
still doing
explain why the daughter looks so normal?
I'll tell you what, I like the actor who played Herman Munster. He was so good in that
Gwynn.
film.
Fred Gwynn.
Yeah,
Yes.
Fred Gwynn. He played the judge.
Oh, and Vinny.
My
cousin Vinny.
That I think Marissa Tomei won an Oscar for that.
Yeah.
The Ute?
Ute?
The Ute.
Yeah, the Utes.
What is
Possible deniability.
Two Utes. A Ute? What's a Ute?
Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor. The youths.
But they actually show My Cousin Vinny in law schools because it's very much what they learn in law school. You know, discovery to be shared and all of that. If only we knew what the other side had. Well, that's discovery.
They actually
and if you don't share it, you know, Alec Baldwin, the Brady violations, because the lawyer found something they failed to share. That's grounds for dismissal.
Well, you know.
Oh, wow. So that's how Alec Baldwin got off?
Yep.
Well, he certainly got out of that with a bang, didn't he?
Yeah, there was a guy named Brady. If they had presented all the exculpatory evidence, he never would have been convicted. So that's where that comes from.
Yeah, wow. Well, you know, I don't know, something about pointing a gun at somebody and pulling the trigger kind of says you might be a little bit guilty, but what do I know?
I wasn't there in the courtroom, so I haven't
heard
testimony.
Exactly.
If they didn't share all the evidence, the prosecutor has to share everything with the defense.
I remember
the gunmaster didn't share all the evidence to Alec Baldwin either, you know?
Yeah, well, if you saw any pictures of the armorer, it looks like she recently got off the road crew working as the pyrotechnic advisor for a Guar cover band. Yeah, she did. Not
22 years old. Yeah,
yeah, and she was supposed to be the armorer, and
she has a good lawyer. After Baldwin got dismissed, I thought her case was going to come back out, but her lawyer maybe wasn't what he bought in
the
legal representation.
when you accidentally again get live bullets in a gun that's going to be used as a prop, and you realize this gun way beyond Chekhov's gun. Here comes
Oh, I
music.
guess Mark wants us to
Shut
not
the hell
talk
up.
about this.
No,
That's
no,
right.
no,
He's
no.
entering sense of dictatorial control once again.
All right,
Swooping
that's
down.
my cue to skedaddle.
All right then.
All
All
right.
right. Well, the birthday boys just arrived, so I am going to say good night, all.
Good night.
All right.
Well, with as numerous as your family, isn't there a pretty good chance that in any given week one of your kids is celebrating a birthday? I mean,
No,
that's
no,
You know
they've
what?
been
We
good
have-
to split it up into only 4 months a year.
No,
Good night.
we have 8 kids, and
Right.
each of them have a birthday in the same week as one of their siblings.
well, wow. That
Yep.
simplifies issues. Yeah,
It sure
it's
does. It
only-
makes one. We buy one big cake rather than 2 for each week of their birthday.
Oh,
Cake, there you go.
We
there
have
you
2
go.
with
Well,
birthdays. We have
One
2
name
in
on the other end,
January,
another on
2
the other
in
end. There we
March,
go.
2 in September, and 2 in November.
there you go. Well-
Susan's all alone in June. So
Well, I mean, she's the matriarch of the family. She should stand alone. She should definitely be up there and and get the whole month to herself with a lot of pride. It is a pride. Well, never mind. Bad pride joke. I just only so far I can read. Even I can't carry that one too particularly far. The lube keeps making it slip out of my hands. Hold on, what time was that? 8:12. All right, there we go.
8:12. 8:12.
8:12. We've already won first lube joke. 8:12.
I'm at
third.
11:45. I don't know where you get the 8:12 from.
Well, yeah, I was using a watch. I don't know. What do you use a timepiece?
You know what? Yeah, you're saying 8:12 in the evening.
In the evening,
For the time. I'm saying we're 11 minutes and 45 seconds.
into the yeah. So again, the concept of time, but just the nomenclature is way off. We're completely on the wrong page. By the way, what says is that a Lions shirt? Go Lions! That's almost the score that they put up. Heck.
Almost.
Almost.
Here they were making such. I know why they ran up the score, because everybody's making such big deal about them losing their star offensive coordinator, so that when they played the team that he went to head coach, they had to make sure that they did better. That was a bigger score than they ever scored when he was the offensive coordinator. So that's got to make the new offensive coordinator feel a lot better.
And let's face it, their debut in Green Bay was a little less than thrilling.
Yeah,
and
not very thrilling. Absolutely.
No, it was.
Green Bay has improved immensely. They
no, they're scary good. Green Bay is going to be absolutely nutty this year.
Yeah.
The Lions are still trying to assert themselves as, hey, look, we're still the divisional champs, and you guys are the Bears. So just
you are the Bears.
The Bears. Have to admit, one of the better SNL skits. I mean, here all these years later, someone says the Bears. We know what we're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
And I actually spent some time today going over an analysis and clips of the infamous Milton Berle hosted SNL show.
Oh,
yeah! What a true clam bake! What a true
the one that guaranteed the one that guaranteed he would never return as host.
That where Lauren Michael actually had it 86th, and it didn't reemerge until like 2007. Like it like some 26, 27 years later before finally it became sort of the day the clown cried of the whole SNL series.
You should not do it. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, and just Uncle Milty was not on the same page as them, and it of course it has the final, the showing the final credit during the cast when they all come out, and Bill Murray is rather sullenly standing there, not clapping, just sort of being, Bill Murray and whatnot. And it's probably one of the first times he encountered an ego even bigger than his own, and wasn't sure really how to handle it.
Was it Bill Murray or was it Chevy Chase?
It was Bill Murray. Yeah. Brian Doyle Murray is the one who gives the better, and of the two Murrays, Brian Doyle
Murray was in the first episode?
No, this is 1979.
No, this was the
Chevy-
the Milton Berle hosted episode. It wasn't the first
Yes.
episode.
No, yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Uncle Milty
Well,
was
in the movie, they had it as Milton Berle was there on the show in the opening in the first episode.
Well, he may have been in the audience. The very first SNL, for those of you who don't remember. No, it was George Carlin.
George Carlin was
Yeah.
was the
First host.
comic,
First host, yep.
but they had so I guess maybe he was just a guest or something like that.
Right, but Milton Berle, who actually hosted the program, that happened in 1979, and this is when SNL was sort of at its zenith, as it were. You know, the Animal House movie had already been released, so Belushi was already in the stratosphere. It was the last year that Belushi, Aykroyd were still on the show, because by next year those two would kind of fly the coop, and they did it for like one season without Aykroyd, without Belushi, but what's his name? Bill Murray was still there.
Yeah.
I mean, Chevy Chase bailed like midway through the second season, and everyone was like,
He never made it to the second season.
Really? Did he bail like through the first season then? Was it? Because I remember him leaving fairly early on.
He phoned in the last few episodes. But.
Yes, and again, because he was originally hired on. He was originally the head writer of the show, and given that he had also written he helped write Groove Tube, if memory serves. He had also been on the writing staff at Smothers Brothers and one of the iterations of their shows. Not the first one, but I think the second iteration.
You are correct.
He also was in National Lampoon. He wrote a lot for National
Lampoon, and but as I'm sure we all know, his ego is renowned to sort of precede him by scorching the earth and destroying all that's good and decent in front of it, and that's just our boy Chevy. And can you say? I mean, for those who've worked with him ever since, they have nothing but bad things to say about him. And after all these years, it seems pretty consistent. I remember there was one guy who had a small part on The Sopranos, but was also working with him on Community College or Community. Yeah. And he specifically went out of his way to mention how much he really disliked Chevy Chase. So.
Many people who have worked with Chevy Chase have mentioned how much they dislike Chevy Chase.
And yet Aykroyd, who worked with him on Dan Aykroyd managed to direct one movie, Nothing But Trouble. The movie cost a fortune, utter bomb. Is the definition of a bomb, and Chevy Chase is in the movie. Of course, he's a star, and Aykroyd get along with him just fine. Which I don't know if it's because Aykroyd is just so damned affable, which he probably is. He's Canadian after all, or he just was so busy with the actual production of the show that he didn't really have time to even be interested in any shenanigans Chevy Chase may have been engaging in. This also features, of course, John Candy in a Peter Sellers like performance where he has multiple roles.
Okay.
Yes, if memory serves. Again, it's one of those movies I only saw it once and I was really high. So, but involved. What did it involve? Old people, weird. It was almost like somewhere between Lynch and John Waters. Which I'm not sure those two Venn diagrams should not overlap. It doesn't end well. But what can you say? I mean, of course, again, it didn't hurt John Candy. I mean, he already had the Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Which did he get any kind of a nomination for that? Because that really, if you go back and look at that, he really deserves some kind of a nomination for best supporting performance in that movie.
He was really good. Well, he really worked well with Merton too. I mean, it was I
don't think John Candy.
Go ahead.
I don't think John Candy was ever nominated for anything more than an Emmy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and again, comedies don't tend to get. The last comedy that I can think of that won Best Picture was A Fish Called Wanda, which again, a John Cleese vehicle. with Michael Palin and
Well, some would say
oh.
some would say that Annie Hall is a comedy, and that got the Best Picture award.
I don't know that that's a. It was funny.
Yeah.
I mean,
funny.
it was funny, but
there's
I didn't
God,
think of it as
coming out of the men's room.
Oh, the whole thing when he breaks the fourth wall and grabs Marshall McLuhan, to sit there. I mean,
I love that.
You have no idea what you don't know what my work is about. You have no idea what you're talking about. Or when and that's also the
if only
movie
life could be this easy.
Yeah. Or when they're weighing up the cocaine on the scale and
yes,
yeah, I mean no, I mean they're
he sneezes.
Right, but I don't think Annie Hall. A Sleeper is definitely a comedy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it
Sleeper
definitely
didn't get nominated.
No.
Annie Hall did. And
Annie Hall did.
But Annie Hall was funny.
Bananas,
it was funny.
Sleeper.
Yeah. No, it definitely was funny. There's all kinds of laughs in it. I was talking with some
I have a
people
large vibrating egg.
I think my favorite line in Sleeper was I have a master's degree in oral sex. Again, just a total off the wall movie.
My favorite was when he started up the Volkswagen and goes, "Man, they made these cars good,"
Yeah.
Oh gosh. And to anyone who's ever had to go to the counter with anything that might be a little bit untoward, certainly the scene from Bananas where he's purchasing all sorts of highbrow periodicals along with a copy of Orgasm. Mm-hmm. And of course, that's when they're shouting, "How much for this copy of Orgasm?"
My favorite iteration of that, a similar joke was the one Eric Tunney told. Have you ever heard that one?
No.
It's basically the same premise. It's the same premise as the Woody Allen one. How much is Orgasm magazine? Yeah. But he was talking about he's in this shot, but it's great because the way he describes it, he's talking about how he's in a magazine shop. He doesn't say he's in a porn shop. I'm in a magazine,
right?
And he's talking about near the counter. It's all Time and Life and Newsweek, and he goes, you go further down, then you got men's magazines and True Detective, but the lighting is not as good as it was near the counter. And he keeps going further down. The walls are scummier, the lighting is worse, and the magazines are getting scummier. And he goes, I look up and I notice they got Ass Masters, but they've only got February's issue. and he calls down. He says, "Hey, you've only got February's issue of Ass Masters." He goes, "That's the last." And the guy in the counter says, "That's the last one they sent us." He goes, "Yeah, but so much has happened in the world of ass mastering since February." But the thing, I mean, I named that punchline much sooner than he does. He does this long tapestry of walking down into the dark.
Well, exactly. You sort of want to create the picture of the descent into Hades.
Exactly.
The entry into the seventh circle, and where you find
great bit. That bit. George Carlin's Muhammad Ali, great bit like that.
Yeah.
And the other one was do you guys remember Joey Cola? He used to come to the Comedy Castle.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
he was the opening, and when Martha Stewart had her syndicated show all over the country, he was the warm-up comic for that.
Right.
That's probably what he retired on. But
he's
probably most famous for he did a bit about Bob Ross, the painter, on PBS. You know who I'm talking about, Bob Ross?
Yes.
Oh my God, he does a thing where he's just talking, and he doesn't give away what he's going to go or what the premise is or anything like that. Have you ever seen Bob Ross? He's up there, all these little, we'll just put a little full flowers on there and make this little flower. And he talks softly the way Bob Ross does. Well, as he gets into it after about it, and he says some funny things to keep it going, to lull you into this thing. By the time he gets a minute and a half in, he's ducking from fighter pilots because he's having a Vietnam flashback. Oh my God! It's one of the wellest written, but most clever pieces I have ever seen.
Well, what's funny?
Yeah, but in other words, it's the type of thing. It's the type of thing where you'd say, "You think you'd ever laugh at a Vietnam flashback? Do you think that would ever be funny?" Well, he makes it hilarious. Oh my God.
Well, the thing
so
is,
fun.
Bob Ross was a 25-year veteran of the Air Force, where he was a master sergeant.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah, well, your guy probably knew that and figured, what would it be like if this guy was, having Vietnam flashbacks?
I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna have to find the YouTube of that bit. I'm gonna search.
No, that's a
right
great
now.
bit. And
It is a great bit.
I mean, I thank Bob Ross because that was, or was it Bob? Yeah, Bob Ross. Because I was going sober and I did not have the benefit of going to a rehab, which I really should have done.
Mhm.
Or maybe someone should have just locked me in an oubliette somewhere, or just in a small padded room for 30 days would have actually been better. But I used to watch that show and just try not to think about getting high, because at that point in time, that's absolutely what I wanted to do. Was the first 30 days, all I wanted to do was just drink and smoke weed constantly. Now here we are 33 years later, and I'm feeling marginally better, but I can assure you the first couple of weeks were a bit dicey, a little touch and go. And within the recovery community, there's an expression that says, "Oh, the first year is such a gift." And if you've ever gone through the first year, as it were, someone rather pompously mentions that to you, your first attitude is to take like a heavy leaden pipe and smash them in the throat with it and say, "Here's your fucking gift." It's not as easy as people make it out to seem at times, and just saying.
Well, there's a bunch. There's a bunch of clips of this. I don't want to take time now to look through them all, but I'll come back with it some other show. But it's a very funny piece that would fit right in with our.
Yeah.
What's that?
He was a great character to lampoon. I mean, he gave you really great material just because he was so, I mean, he was being, you could tell the guy was actually being real. I mean, he just like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna put a little squirrel right here. Yeah, your squirrel might be red, mine's a little brown, a little red. You could make yours out of titanium white. Just remember, a thin paint will stick to a thick paint, but a thick paint won't stick to a thin paint." And yeah,
we're doing watercolors. Try some watercolors.
My son Gabriel at one time had what we call a white fro, which is the Bernie from Room 222 style hair. And and when he was working at Disney every year for their talent show, he did first he blew him away at first with Napoleon Dynamite.
Yes.
Then he did Richard Simmons. Then he did Bob Ross. I can't remember what the fourth one was, but characters like that with the white man with the fro type of hairstyle.
Well, if he was going to do the receding hairline a little bit with the fro, he could definitely pull off a Larry Fine. That there you go. I mean, Dr. Howard, Dr. Fine, Dr. Howard. Exactly. So, well, that's about all I got, guys. We'll see you later. Have a good night.
All
right, bye. See you later.
All right, I'll see you. Have a good one.
Take it easy.
Doesn't happen this week, that's for sure. Yeah.
No.
How's your health? Hey, how about an update on your health there?
Well, they have recently I had to go back and they do this little blood draw. And by little blood draw, I mean, I think they take about a third of your total blood supply.
That's probably right.
To do a test to make sure whether I need yet another round of antibiotics, which, as I have mentioned in the past, is one of the key antibiotics for the treatment of syphilis. So, folks, I can assure you, I do not have syphilis. I'm not sure that I ever had syphilis, but I definitely don't have it now. So I'm definitely one good time at this point. And I asked Dr. and Dr. Saeed, at least you won't have syphilis. There could be a myriad of other diseases, but not that one. At any rate,
in these times, it's important to eliminate the diseases that are not friendly to the overlords.
You get to my age, good elimination is really all you're looking for, really.
That's right. Oh, I'm having my gallbladder out on Thursday. We're talking about well, what do I need it for? You don't really need it. I go, well, what does it do? They go, well, it releases into your stomach and into your
some bile
your intestines.
Yeah.
bile and stuff that helps you digest. I go, well, what if I don't do that? What? You'll have some diarrhea. I go, give me a real problem. Oh my God, diarrhea. You mean
At
I'll have
any
to spend
rate,
twice as much? There you go. I'll have to spend twice as much time on my favorite room in the house. Come on.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, they want to make sure that the sepsis that was in my leg is completely, because he said, well, it could come back. I
Oh.
said, it could come back. What will happen if it comes back? And Dr. Saeed goes, oh, well, at this point, then you will die. And I think, well, thank you, Dr. Saeed. I appreciate the bedside manner.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, very.
Or you will die. Okay.
Thank you.
No, we won't be able to control it. You'll die. And I'm like,
What
okay,
kind, that's when you say, what kind of die exactly?
exactly.
Are you talking about the big death of Reno here?
Right. Yeah. Are we talking about? Yeah. I turned chartreuse. Are we talking about a color dye? How dye can be spelled differently and mean different things, and yet sound the same. I don't know. Coming from whatever third world snake charmer country you crawled from and managed to phony baloney your way into whatever certification you've got right now. And by the way, I am still beholden to you, nevertheless, and I would never see these things to your face for fear that I end up, trapped on one of your machines with you behind the panel, pulling all sorts of rods and buttons, causing me further torment and pain.
I'm not sure I can.
Or
I'm
you
not
get
sure I
fired
can
from your
trust
job.
your opinion. I'm not sure I can trust your opinion, Doctor. I have to know. You please tell me what is the plural and which is the singular. Die or dice?
Died, exactly. I mean,
I need to know that you know. I need to know that you know this before I can trust your opinion on my health.
But at any rate, they pulled a bunch of stuff, and apparently, no, I'm fine. I don't need any more antibiotics, thank God, because they have been. I mean, I know antibiotics sound fairly benign and like a lot of fun, actually. I mean, who wouldn't want to spend a weekend strung out on some sort of tetracycline derivative?
I've been concerned because if he's Hindu, a Hindu Indian, because basically say you won't die, you'll just reincarnate.
No, you'll just come back.
Yeah,
you'll just come back. He's no death.
Actually,
He's just coming back.
Dr. Saeed is from Syria, so I don't know if he worked like as a doctor in one of Assad's torture chambers, or because even Bashar al-Assad is actually a medical doctor. He's an ophthalmologist, but he has an MD. So these guys don't always work in the nicest of arenas, as it were. But he's working for a Catholic hospital, so I don't know.
Doctors without backbones. There you go.
Yeah, but yes, you're right. If he was someone who said, well, if this doesn't work out, you're going to recycle, you'll come back. It's like, no, I've seen my future. Should I have to go through all this again, and I'll end up working as a bathroom attendant at a Jack in the Box somewhere outside of Elyria, Ohio, in the mid 1970s. Wow. I don't see this.
I haven't done better. I haven't done better in order to come back as something better than a human being. So I don't really want to take.
No.
I think all my other lives, I've worked up to this. This is. I'm not gonna double down and try to do it again.
No. I at this point, and if we go the other route where I will have to suffer in some sort of hellish damnation, but if it's proportional to, if Hitler is burning for his sins, the worst that should happen to me is advanced jock itch, which I think we all know is distracting, to say the least.
Now, before you settle on that, your internal damnation, please remember your jock itch will be for eternity.
Oh,
so
Well, if you put it that way, yeah, that's like worse than, say, a couple of weekends, in the South. Where it would definitely be
where you get jiggers in your crotch.
Yes,
heat rash.
Exactly. Yes, I've got a heat rash and a parasite, but that'll teach me to stay at the Arthur Bremer Inn. I'm mistaken. I will certainly not make twice. I can assure you of that. I say the Arthur. No, it's not only an inn, but it also has a firing range out back. So you got that going for you as well. So we'll see.
Arthur Bremer. Okay, here's a little offshoot, a little trivia question.
Yeah.
Who is the most famous comic that did a joke referencing Arthur Bremer?
Oh my God! I would almost say it's Dan Aykroyd from the movie Neighbors, when John Belushi played the straight guy, and Aykroyd played the sort of off the wall character, and he references Arthur Bremer, which I fell out laughing, and all my friends were like, "Who's Arthur Bremer?" So who are you thinking of, Mark?
Gabe Kaplan did a "This Is Your Life" parody.
Oh my God!
With Arthur Bremer.
With Arthur Bremer? Oh no!
As the guest of honor. I got it.
Oh,
you know what? It's in my attic. I'm too old to even get up in my attic anymore. So after I'm dead, ask my kids for the Gabe Kaplan albums. He did it on one of his albums.
Oh my God!
The Arthur Bremer.
The Arthur Bremer, this is your life.
The Arthur Bremer, this is your life. And he goes the whole thing.
Well, without Arthur Bremer, there's no John Wayne Hinckley. I mean, there's no Taxi Driver. You know,
there you go.
Arthur inspires.
Arthur
what's his
Bremer
name?
was the the Taxi Driver was because of Bremer, and so
right,
and Hinckley was because of Taxi Driver.
Taxi Driver. I get it. You know, so I mean, definitely 6 degrees of separation going here. And of course, there was the one even further degree of separation is what Schrader then goes on to write and direct the film Hardcore, starring
in Grand Rapids. Is that the one they filmed in Grand Rapids?
Grand Rapids, exactly.
Oh,
The nice little Calvinist Grand Rapids.
Was it George C. Scott in that one?
Yep.
George C. Scott.
Yes.
Dick Sargent.
Yes, I'm gonna go find my daughter. What's wrong with you?
Yeah. George C. Scott playing a pretend pornographer and Dick Sargent playing a pretend straight guy. And yet it all works. It all works. And it all works. Yeah. But there's that scene again for those of us who ever had to live through the 70s where you never, and again, it's a good example different from Boogie Nights where they blow the whole movie in the last scene. We all know what the last scene is, and the less said about it, the better. Boogie Nights.
No spoiler alert. No spoiler alerts because
I've not spoiled any of it.
I have not seen the end of Boogie Nights. I've probably made it through half of it twice.
Well, it's a great movie, but
I'm sure it is. But I just
but in the film Hardcore, where they focus on George C. Scott having to watch his daughter in one of these X-rated loops, and that's where he's screaming, "Turn it off! Turn it off! Turn it off!" Again, when George C. Scott was capable of range. Look at his benevolence.
Yeah.
Look at his benevolence in The Hustler. Where he plays a very quiet.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
He's a brilliant actor. Yeah.
No, again, he had range. He could. If people want to think about just him as Patton or him in Doctor Strangelove, it's all over.
It's not great. It's not great art, but near us we have the Redford Theater. And the Redford Theater, in and of itself, is a gem because it was built in the 1920s and it's still here. I think its 100th anniversary is coming up in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Right.
But it still has the, at the time, what they called Oriental. I guess today they'd call it Asian design.
Right.
With the not just the interior design, not the architecture. It's right. Any other theater that was built in the 20s. But they keep it alive by showing, special things like this Halloween. They're going to have Young Frankenstein, and they'll be a big crowd for that. And they always have a Three Stooges festival.
Okay.
And they do a film noir weekend.
Right.
I think that was in August. But anyway, one of the things they do is I'm trying to think what they call it now. It's basically the Rocky Horror Picture Show type thing where the people dress up as the characters and act out the film in front of the film. We've seen The Princess Bride acted out by actors in front of the film, and they've done like, I don't know, whatever other films they've done, but I think that it's not great. It's not great art. You don't go for great art.
No.
We went because we have seen every other iteration of The Princess Bride. I mean, it's it's one of our. But between Princess Bride and Cool Hand Luke, for me, you don't really need to see any other films. Those are
no.
I know a film I watched recently that I hadn't seen in 50 years. I saw Papillon. Did you ever see Papillon?
Oh yeah,
yes, great movie.
I remembered it was a long film.
Yep.
And then as I'm watching it, I didn't remember that I was upset because I had read the book as well. So
Right.
that was one of
Oh,
those films where I thought the film did just as well as the book did in telling the story.
Right.
It was a true story. That was cool.
Yep.
But I'm watching it, and of course, anymore you will see something like Papillon, you're not going to see it all the way through without commercials. So it had to be on one of
No.
the streaming channels
Yeah.
with commercials. So that 2 hours and 45-minute film ended up being like 4.5 hours.
Oh.
That's the thing.
Oof.
We saw it
But
in the
it's
theater.
still it was great, man. It was Steve McQueen and Dustin Hoffman. I mean,
Yep.
Yeah.
man, that was a great film. It was too long. I still agree that it was too long, even after even saying how great it was. They really could have cut it back a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, today the theater owners would have said, no,
Right.
we will not show a 3 3.75 hour film. That's not going to happen. Forget it.
Well, you're only going to be able to
Back in
show
those
it
days, I
twice.
mean, when it was made, it was like those were the two hottest stars at the time. So
Yeah.
they figured it would be
Dustin
okay.
Hoffman and Steve McQueen, absolutely,
Yeah, it's like
absolutely.
take me out, Peppy. Can you free this butterfly? So there we go.
Yeah, that's it. And
Well,
then it gets
everybody
busted.
in that prison wanted. He kept escaping so many. Everybody always got caught and came back, but he kept escaping. So everybody wanted to go. Oh, I'll go with you. I'll go with you. I want to go with you.
Yeah,
That was a
well,
great
and
film.
it was a, and the Catholic nun turns him in.
Yeah.
After he manages to escape once more, and
It gives her a bunch of diamonds.
yes, and like
Yes.
okay, that wasn't quite so good, and there you go.
It was a great film.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of another film I've seen recently that I haven't seen in over 30 or even over 10 years. I mean, that's a long time. But have it been since the 70s? I saw it like in 72 or 73. So it was over 52 years since I saw that film.
Well, I was talking with some people today in my car, bringing them back from the airport. And of course, I was talking about Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, which I've referred to for years as a documentary on my parents. And he said, that's not necessary. That's kind of a depressing movie. And I said, yeah, it is. But, I mean, Mike Nichols went on to make, after that, the Graduate. And again, which is also a commentary on sort of society and societal norms of the time. And there is that triumphant scene of them running away from the wedding, and people are yelling and calling him names, and you can't see what they're saying, but you know what they're saying. And Bancroft is up there, and there's that picture of Catherine Ross and him, and looking winded and satisfied in the back of the bus, but yet slowly that smile sort of melts off their face, and that sort of look over, because Nichols just keeps the camera on them, and keeps running and right until the end, and for those of us who now see this movie 50 plus years on, we kind of know how the story ends, even if we don't know about these two, because we have a living window into what happens after 1968, 69, 70, 71. As I mean, of course there's the horror of the disco era, the terror of the mid 1980s.
Jason,
yes, sir.
Jason, I'm going to read the Mike Nichols list. This is very impressive.
Oh,
Ready?
It's amazing.
Who's afraid? Yep. Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf?
Yep.
The Graduate.
Yep.
Catch-22.
Amazing.
Carnal Knowledge.
Yep.
The Day of the Dolphin. Do you remember that one?
Yes, I do.
George C. Scott. Yep.
Another. Yeah.
The Fortune.
Yep.
Who was in The Fortune? Oh, I'm going to look it up real quick.
Yep.
The Fortune. It was what's his name? Warren Beatty.
Oh yes. Oh, okay.
Warren Beatty.
Yep.
Warren Beatty. Jack Nicholson.
Right.
And let's see what else we got here. All right, let's keep going down the list here. Silkwood.
Great movie.
Heartburn. Yeah, it was Heartburn.
Yeah.
Working Girl. Remember with Melanie Griffith and what's her name?
And Richard Gere.
No, the other girl, the one from Aliens. I can't think of her name now.
Sigourney Weaver.
Sigourney Weaver. Postcards from the Edge.
Yep, great movie.
Postcards from the Edge, wasn't that didn't Carrie Fisher write that?
Carrie Fisher pretty much wrote it. Yeah, it's basically about her and Debbie Reynolds. Yep.
Regarding
the dress
Henry.
flew up. Yeah, good movie.
Wolf.
What was it?
Wolf.
Oh yeah, Wolf.
His version of.
It was 1994. It started Jack Nicholson and Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yep.
Let's see, 94. What's after 94 here? The Birdcage, great film.
Great film.
Primary Colors.
That was good.
What planet
That was
are
a
you
good
from?
movie. Yep.
Primary Colors, yeah.
Yep.
What Planet Are You From? That was from the year 2000. That starred Gary Shandling and...
Yep.
who
Isn't
else
that
was
the
in
one
that?
where he plays an alien?
Yes.
Oh,
Yep,
I've not.
that's
You know,
the
I've
one.
not seen it. I remember the advertisements for it. I'm gonna have to go back on YouTube and just look up the trailer.
Hold on, let me see. Okay, it's YouTube's charging for it. Do they have one with commercials?
Well, of course
I wonder.
they are. Yeah, they probably do. I don't know.
Gary
I paid-
Shandling, Annette Bening, Ben Kingsley, John Goodman, Judy Greer, who's from Livonia, by the way,
Yes.
Greg Kinnear,
Yeah.
and that's all the named ones that I know. All right.
What is the
let's move on.
synopsis? Yes. Go on.
The synopsis.
Go on.
You want me the synopsis of what planet
Yeah.
are you from? Here we go. Hold on just a
Yeah.
second.
Yeah.
Overview. Here we go. Give us that. Harold is sent to Earth on a mission to impregnate a woman and have a child. Harold befriends Perry Gordon, a horny, morally challenged specimen of human male, and together they scope Phoenix for women. On the prowl for the ideal woman with whom he can mate, the alien encounters a wide spectrum of potential candidates. That had to be a Gary Shandling vehicle. That sounds like his act.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That again. It's not great casting.
Mike Nichols, yeah, but under Mike Nichols, that could have been a great film. I haven't seen it yet. That
Yep.
might be one we want to look at.
Yep.
Wit from 2001. Are you familiar with Wit?
Yes.
Starred Emma Thompson.
Yes. It's a
Good one, yeah.
wonderfully one. I saw that
Good
one.
play, really done well. Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Christopher Lloyd played the doctor. Audrey
Yep.
McDonald.
Yep.
All right, let's go back to our list here. Okay, that was Angels in America. Great film.
Yep.
Closer and Charlie Wilson's War. That was his last one. Was Charlie Wilson's War?
Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Wow. And you know,
A nice run.
Yep. And Mike Nichols, who had alopecia, I didn't know that, but the guy, if you ever saw him with like hair or whatever, it was all fake or painted on or a wig.
I can't hear Mike Nichols without thinking Nichols and May. Gone. More gone.
Exactly.
More gone.
And while they may not exactly be the originator, but I always thought Nichols and May as sort of being the leading edge of that sort of improvisational off the wall.
I mean, they were part of the Compass Theater, and then Spolin brought him into Second City. I don't think they actually were a part of the Second City. But They learned all their craft in the Compass, and they were at Chicago. They met at the University of Chicago.
Okay.
And that's where they started emphasizing this Compass Theater approach.
Okay.
The Compass Theater went out throughout, spread out throughout the United States. It was all about the improvisation and using that. So.
Yep.
Yeah, the whole idea of improvisation, when I was taking acting classes out in LA, I was primarily taking them at the request of my manager for auditions. And so there was a lot of, and basically I took what they called cold reading classes.
Oh, yeah.
And cold reading was, we did some improvisational exercises, but when it came to the purpose of the class, it was to get the part often. So you're going to have to make some decisions and try to make the part as close to, this is what my instructor said, try to make the character you create as close to you as you possibly can, primarily because you don't want them to hire you and then go, oh, we fucked up. But if it's as close to you as you can get, then, you've got, and so he worked with us a lot about, what made us strong characters and what we were best at and what parts. And so in other words, here's a part that's just like you, be you. Here's a part that's nothing like this. Here's a part that's nothing like you. Show them one they'll never forget. show them the character there. In other words, you may not get the part, but you know what? The next time they'll call you in for something.
Yeah.
And these were great class. I took a couple of them. They were great classes on how the whole Hollywood game is played. Did you ever take any classes out there, Andy, when you were out there?
I had one class. I worked with a guy through a Rico Simone. He got us involved in this class. Tim Henning was in there too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we did a scene from The Big Lebowski together. And this guy says, "Oh, you do your own action stunts, huh? Okay, all right, yeah, no, sorry." And I later met him again. He's like, he was the most disturbing person I've ever met.
Naturally, he's an actor. Naturally, he's an actor.
He definitely has some sort of sexual problem going on because he was hitting on all the guys. So
well, I've done that.
I had Brian Reese and Ellen Gersten. Brian, I've lost touch with. Ellen is still a friend to this day. She did a couple of Seinfelds, which and she was a teacher. And when I was in my 20s, she had to be in her 40s. And so she's got to be in her 80s now because I'm in my 60s. And once she got so old, she wasn't getting called for anything, as happens to women in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. She began writing scripts, and as it turns out, if you write and direct films, even if they don't get picked up by the studio, and a lot of short films do this. Every year on the Academy Awards, they talk about short films and animated films and short subject documentary. And everybody that makes these films, they go into these festival, what they call the festival circuit.
Right.
We're in them in festivals. And if you get nominated in the festival to be, sometimes they'll give you a stipend to come, sometimes they won't. But she's won a couple of festival awards, and that is enough to get her little 30 to 60-minute films, foreign distribution, and a lot of the cable company, not anymore because it's all streaming, but a lot of the cable companies used to pick them up. Now that they're all streamed, I guess everybody does their own. And
that's what Justine Bateman is doing now. You remember her?
Good.
The sort of smoldering girl from the late 80s, early 90s. And yeah, she's an acting coach, and she's a director, and just sort of doing her own thing.
Last time I saw her, she had a very small part in Ozark, her brother's series.
I saw that
over on Netflix.
That is a great series.
I
never saw Ozark. What was it about? Without giving me the whole thing, just.
All right, I'm not going to give you the whole thing, but this is a little bit of a spoiler for the beginning of it because they tease this until halfway through this, and actually almost to the end of the first season. But there's like 4 seasons, so I'm not giving away the whole thing. There is a company in Chicago that is laundering money for the mob.
Okay.
One of the principals of this was it a law firm or an accounting firm, Andy? Do you remember? I think it was an accounting
firm, and Jason Bateman worked for them to hide the money.
Right.
Jason Bateman was working for the mob to hide the money, but his partner gets killed because he held the money so well that the firm thought it was his partner that was the one they needed to kill. So when they're bumping a guy, so he takes his whole family and he moves to the Ozarks, where he realizes this bumfuck backward country of Ozark, Missouri is perfect for laundering money.
Yeah.
And so he basically starts taking over businesses in the Ozarks.
Right.
In these,
he lies his ass off to keep himself alive.
Yeah, just to keep himself alive. You're right.
Yeah, because he looked. I think they make a point where he looks at a poster of the Ozarks, and he explains this whole, builds this whole elaborate story about the Ozarks, and then he goes there because he's got to find.
Then he has to go there because he lied about it. Now he has to go there to keep his life.
To find some. To find refuge.
It's basically Breaking Bad for the hillbilly set.
I love it.
Oh, yeah, well, Bateman is really fantastic in it. He's just really good.
Well, he's a good actor. So is his sister's a great actor. I love when you're talking about an actress getting older, and you'll certainly know this line, Andy, from Lion in Winter when Peter O'Toole's talking about Catherine of not Catherine of Aragon, but Eleanor of Aquitaine. He goes, "She's a democratic drawbridge. She'll go down for anyone."
Yes.
And she replies with, "Well, yes, but I find the traffic isn't quite as I don't get as much traffic as I used to." I mean, again, Katharine Hepburn in that movie is so good.
Oh yeah.
When she sits there and Peter O'Toole as Henry II says, no, what I want a divorce, you know. And she says, oh, I don't
Right.
have to stop you. I just have to slow you down.
Yeah.
You could
Yeah, there
you could be
go.
daughtered with our first child. It's possible. We did. Your first son could die. Ours did. How old are you? You know, this I can, you know, drag your feet a couple of years, you know. And you got to remember, he's like 50 years old. He's like, I've
Yeah.
got 10 years on the Pope, you know. Just and of course
That's
the
why
movie.
That's why he's looking for younger women. He wants to get a new
Yeah,
breed.
yeah, because he goes, I had no sons. He goes, you had too many sons.
I have no sons. You have too many sons.
It's 11. He's got a knife. Well, of course he has a knife. We all have knives. It's 1183. That's what we do.
We all have knives. It's 1183. Okay.
We have knives. Don't you see? It's in us. Oh God! And again, she told Anthony Hopkins, "Don't act. Whatever you don't, I will do all the acting. Don't, you know." And I think what she's saying, you guys are the actors, is to, you know, tone it down. Don't, you know, don't worry. Would, you know, at this point, Peter O'Toole's already been in Beckett, so he's played Henry II. You know, for what, better part of 5 years by the time they're finished shooting this thing, you know, and those two, of course, they turn it up to 11, but it works. They can pull it off. So, but you have to sort of balance that with something, and you know, Anthony Hopkins, who's just really cold and unsentimental, and you know, I sometimes poet, a warrior, and I will be king. You know, it's a wonderfully directed movie. It is a wonderfully acted movie. It's close to a perfect film, as I think you can get, especially from that particular era.
Oh yeah.
And where at one point Katharine Hepburn is delivering her little monologue, and she pulls out this beautiful necklace of emeralds. She goes, "Oh yes, look at you, my darlings. I'd wear you from the nipples, but it would shock the children."
Shock the children.
All right, we got less than 4 minutes
actually,
left, and I
it was
wanted
written
to
as a
bring up one sports item.
Yes.
This was
Sure.
Did everybody hear about the Pope Leo involvement with the what became a big deal for the Lions Bears games? Apparently,
No.
Sam Laporta, Detroit
Yes.
Lions tight end,
Yes.
and his wife, apparently they're Catholic and were visiting Rome in June.
Right.
Had an audience for the Pope, who is a sports fan.
Okay.
Above all else, and because he's a man of the world now, he's not particularly. He's from Chicago, but the people in Chicago got ticked because the Pope blessed Sam Laporta, and he hasn't laid his hands on and blessed any Chicago Bears. And so yesterday, the whooping of the Lions over the Bears is now cause for a lot of consternation for Bears fans who are upset because Pope Leo blessed. Now, Laporta only scored.
I think God interfered with what was going on there. Okay.
Exactly. Well, maybe they would have only lost 32-21. You know, if not for
the papal thumb on the scale, which was clearly
the papal thumb.
Yeah, it's clearly in evidence. Yes, yeah.
I always admire that whole idea that, you know, one favors the other. It's like, you know, do you think God's actually interested in anything that takes place on this planet? You know, it's like,
probably quite a few things, but maybe not sporting events.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if for instance, you know, you're really praying for your hometown team to win while someone is bailing a boat being tossed around the South Pacific. You know, he's bailing it out, trying to stay afloat. I think,
I can see that. Okay.
Am I going to change the wind direction to help the guy with the boat, or to help the field goal unit?
My uncle Ken was a Boston Red Sox fan.
Oh no!
He lived to be 102 years old. Well, the Red Sox had a string of 108 years where they didn't win the World Series, and he was right in the
right in the breadbasket.
Yeah,
he was right in the breadbasket. No, he was there for their victory in 1911 or 1912, whatever it was.
Got it.
Right.
But he said, just one more, Lord, just one more before you take me. I'll be ready to go home as soon.
Well, I will.
Red Sox one more World Series. As soon as he dies, Red Sox win the World Series.
There you go. Well, I tell you what, I don't think God is involved, but my lucky shirt has more power over anything that God has. Okay. So I know I wear my lucky shirt to make sure.
You know what? You know what? We need to get your lucky shirt over to Gaza.
What?
Uh-oh.
Oh,
We need to get your lucky. We need to get your lucky shirt over to Gaza, in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Hold on, everybody! Stop the shooting. Andy's lucky shirt is here.
It won't work in Gaza, but in Ukraine,
Yeah.
yeah.
Ukraine. Yeah, in the Ukraine, that shirt is
Ukraine.
I don't know who the Lions are. What is it?
Yeah.
Well, you know what the music means, fellas. We've spent our hour here talking to each other, having a great time. We'll be back here next Monday night. Go ahead and hit the like. Wait a minute. I forgot to put that up today. Let me put the. There you go. Hit the like button. If you see this song, please hit the like button. The whole hour, go ahead. Hit the like button. Subscribe to our YouTube page, and we'll see everybody next week at 8 o'clock. Good night. Oh, and I'll be post-surgery, and Monday's the first day I can lift things. So. On Monday, so. See everybody Monday night. Talk to you later.
Live long and prosper.
Well, we're still on.